The move to impose these tariffs could really start off a downward spiral in international trade practices. Not only will we have exporters facing retaliation, we will have a lot of American businesses that use imported parts who will feel the pain as well. We'll have American consumers who will feel the pain. So it will not feel like a win, even if we somehow reduce our trade deficit. This kind of action is not going to bring back the kind of jobs that we had decades ago in the steel industry and the aluminum industry. Those changes weren't really caused by international trade threats. Those were caused by structural changes in the industry where they turned to automation and more capital-intensive methods. So what we're likely to see is increased returns to stockholders, not increased employment. I think you had a lot of market participants who, when they assessed President Trump, they thought he was serious about things like deregulation and tax reform, and not so serious about his inflammatory trade rhetoric. What we've seen this week has caused some of them, I think, to reassess that. And there is real economic damage that can be done by these policies, and they hint at perhaps more to come. So whether it leads to that, how it plays out, I think will determine how the market reacts. But I think this is a new serious source of concern. In no sense is a trade war easy to win. The winners are few and far between. The president is using trade balance as a means of trying to tally up winners and losers. In fact, you'll end up with lots of bodies strewn around along the way. The direct effect of these tariffs will be to raise steel prices and aluminum prices within the United States. The clear winners of this action for steel tariffs and aluminum are the stockholders. We've seen the share prices already go up for domestic producers, that they will face reduced competition, they can expect to see greater returns. The losers, almost everybody else, that the people who use steel and aluminum, and those who are going to be the victims of retaliation. In the case of the steel and aluminum tariffs, China isn't really the target. If you look at Chinese imports into the United States, they're already blocked mostly by protection. China doesn't even make the top 10 list of US suppliers of steel, for example, and it in total supplies 2.2% of US imports. So while this is sometimes sold as an anti-Chinese action, it's not very effective. We fire at the Chinese, we miss, we hit our allies instead.